Welcome to War of the Stars, a Star Wars podcast, broadcasting from deep within the Outer Rim, far beyond the watchful eyes of the Empire and on the fringes with the New Republic. Join your hosts Garrett K. Jones, Brian Karasik, and John Mark Tolley as they discuss the various facets of the saga's lore and characters, review the films, and discuss every tidbit of news coming out of Lucasfilm. Remember, this isn't just your Star Wars, this isn't just my Star Wars. This is our Star Wars. This is the way.
And
welcome back. Yeah. Welcome back to War of the Stars, a Star Wars podcast. Once again, as you can tell if you are watching us in video form, we are sans one Brian Karasik.
Do you think
the Rebels finally got him?
I don't know. Our resident Darksider is a little bit more resourceful. He is currently out of his usual haunts, and apparently technology has failed him by becoming submerged in water. So
that's never a good thing. Never a good thing.
Yeah,
we'll have to find out more about that.
The Star Wars galaxy is that they. For all their technology, most of it functions underwater.
Yeah, this is true. Maybe a lot of it's built by the Mon Cal, and they're just kind of like, well, we have to use this too. So,
yeah, maybe. How you doing this week, man?
Not too bad. It is a hot one here. It's been in the high 90s here with heat index. I think the heat index today was 115.
Oh,
that was after rain. Yeah,
I don't envy you on that. What's the humidity like right there? Because if you're high 90s and the heat index is 115, that's got to be a lot of humidity.
Well, we were in a drought, and then we've been getting like rain, but it's just enough, like a lot of rain today and last night. But in the past, it's been just enough to make it like 75% humidity, 85% humidity, where it's just. Mm-hmm. I swear, dude, I walked outside my door yesterday to water our plants in our backyard, and it was like walking into a wall of humidity. It was just.
Oh, I bet.
So miserable. I went to the pool today after work, which was nice.
Oh, I bet. Yeah,
Yeah.
Let's see. Today we had a high of 94 today. Our heat index says it feels like 94, which is nice, but we've got 25% humidity. And here, I mean, for the most part, it's fairly dry. But when there's extra humidity in the air, we feel it.
Mm-hmm.
Like walking outside, like I'm like, okay. Like I got home, earlier this afternoon and around lunchtime, and and from there I was pretty much indoors, and then I stepped outside just about 4:30. I'm like, there we go. That is there's some humidity there.
Yeah,
but it doesn't feel terrible. What?
When you like after we got out of the pool and we made our way, we got home. And you're in that, nice cool water, but then you get out and it's warm. Then you get inside a really air-conditioned house and you're wet.
Mm-hmm.
And then you freeze.
So,
but you don't want to say anything because you don't.
What?
Go ahead. I was going to say, but you don't want to say anything because you don't want your parents to be like, oh, I'll turn the air off. You're like, no, I'll be fine.
Right. So, I don't have a pool at my house, but there's one at my parents, and so I'll go swimming there. Usually, what I'll do is I'll wait until about 4 o'clock or 5 o'clock in the afternoon to go swimming, because for most of the day the pool is in direct sunlight. And so that it warms up the surface of the water, gets it feeling really nice. And then, you get in there and the water feels cooler than the outside air and temperature. Yeah. And by that point, the pool is mostly in shade. So if I'm swimming in there for about an hour or so, like you can see the shadow from the house just creeping across the water. It's really very relaxing. But by the time I get out, it feels nice. I'm in shade. And so but then stepping inside my parents' house, like my dad keeps the temperature set for like a balmy 79 for some reason. And so I walk in there and it's still colder than the outside air, but I'm just like, whoa, that is a massive difference than what I just experienced. It's probably nicer outside right now than it is inside. So yeah, I totally feel you on that.
Yeah.
So before we jump in, I do have a fun bit of an announcement. And I'll talk more about this later on when we wrap up. But I just had a really cool bit of success from the publishing side of things. For those of you who know, I'm an author, and I had a book come out earlier this year called Midnight Playground. It's a collection of short stories that I've been writing over the last few years for various competitions that I do. And the book came out in mid to late February, and as of Monday, just after 11 a.m. Monday morning Pacific Standard Time, it is now officially an audiobook.
Nice.
Yeah, I'm
cool.
stoked by that. It's
I have to admit, when you're saying that.
When I'm saying what?
Yeah. Sorry. Oh,
you cut out
when
there.
You said that off air, off mic earlier. Sorry. Can you hear me now?
Yeah.
Can you hear me now?
Yep.
Okay. When you were saying that earlier off air, I thought you were going to say it's a New York Times bestseller.
Oh, I wish it would be a New York Times bestseller. I could make some money off of that.
I was like, oh, I got big news. I have a New York Times bestseller. I'm like, what?
Yeah, that would be great. It would be fantastic if I had that. No, unfortunately, most people who become writers don't do it for the money. They do it because they love being broke.
Yeah.
So
Why?
anyway.
I'm not a writer. I don't like being broke.
Become a writer.
Well, that and I think you actually, that's.
All right. So what are we talking about this week on War of the Stars, Brian? Or not Brian, Mark. I'm so used to saying Brian's name. What is wrong with me?
I
miss him. That's what it is. I miss him.
It is. We miss you, Brian. Today we are going to be watching the teaser trailer for Spaceballs 2, The Search for More Money.
I hope they entitle it The Search for More Money. That would be such a great bit of continuity.
It would be, yes. I mean, they have to, don't they?
I don't know. I don't know if they're obligated to. They might be contractually obligated. I don't know. It would make for a really, really nice reference. So yeah, we're going to be watching that today. And then we'll be jumping back in. For those of you who are interested in seeing what our schedule is going to be like, give me one moment to pull this up. Here we go. This is our calendar for the month of August. Next week, we'll be jumping back into some lore. We'll be talking about lightsaber forms, and we'll mention that again at the end here. We'll be talking about doing a character crave on Omega from Bad Batch. We will be discussing that one character you just want to punch in the face.
Omega,
yeah, Omega, Reke. And then we'll be doing our second episode in our new segment, Galactic Tech, or Tech Talk, however you want to refer to it. We'll be talking about capital ships. So I'm looking forward to these conversations over the course of the next month. But yes, we are definitely talking about Spaceballs 2. So we will be
you're cutting out here. You're cutting out, dude.
I'm cutting out.
You're better now.
Okay.
It was a little sketchy there for a bit.
I get worried about that because it's saying that my signal's good. My signal's pretty decent, I think. Yeah. Anyway, so let's get this going because I want to get your opinion on this. I'm super excited.
After 40 years, we asked, what do the fans want? But instead, we're making this movie. May the Schwartz be with you.
Oh man. I am so excited for that movie. I am so excited for this movie.
Oh my goodness, me too.
Don't want to get dinged for a double.
Oh.
So what are your thoughts on this, Mark?
I don't even know what we're gonna have, what it's gonna be with this movie, and I don't care. It's. I mean, come on! It's Mel Brooks. It's Spaceballs. Spaceballs 2. It's already been announced that Tim Russ is returning. I think Bill Pullman is returning too.
Yeah, Bill Pullman's returning. Rick Moranis is supposed to be returning. And obviously, I mean, from what I understand, Lewis Pullman, Bill's son, who plays Sentry in the new Thunderbolts movie and was in Top Gun Maverick, he's supposed to be in it. I have not heard anything about Daphne Zuniga reprising her role as Princess Vespa. And obviously, we're going to be missing John Candy and Joan Rivers because they have unavoidably passed. But this is really exciting because, I mean, the last time we got any kind of Spaceballs content was the animated series that ran for one season back in 2008, and they had a total of let me see here. They had a total of 10 episodes.
Oh, wow!
So yeah.
Do you think Mel Brooks will return? I mean, he is what, 99 now? He's
99. 90s. He co-wrote it with Josh Gad, who is famous for playing Olaf in the Frozen movies. He's working as the producer and the director on this as well. I would imagine he'd be coming back as Yogurt for sure. Maybe President Scroob. I don't know. But that would be really fun to see him back on stage. I mean, he's 99 for crying out loud. He's still making movies.
Well, it looks like he's done, because I saw him a couple weeks ago. There's a show we watch on Netflix called Somebody Feed Phil. and it's with
Mhm.
Phil Rosenthal, who was a showrunner and co-writer of Everyone Loves Raymond.
Right.
And anyway, he does this thing at the end where he used to have his dad on, and his dad would always tell a joke, and then when his dad passed, he has all his celebrity friends tell a joke for Max, and one of the ones Mel Brooks was on, and he talked about how it looks like Mel's having a little bit of a comeback. He's got Spaceballs 2, the producers. They're doing the producers 2.
Yep.
A sequel to the producers. So it looks like he might be a little bit of a mini comeback.
Well, and then he had History of the World Part 2 come out on Hulu a couple of years ago.
Yeah.
Which I still need to sit down and watch because I haven't had a chance to watch it.
Okay, so quick question.
Mm-hmm.
What is your favorite Mel Brooks movie?
Oh gosh. I've got a collection of Mel Brooks films right over here in my my library here. I've got Blazing Saddles, I've got Young Frankenstein, I've got Robin Hood Men in Tights, I've got Spaceballs, I've got the original producers with Gene Wilder. If I could get my hands on a copy of Dracula Dead and Loving It, I would get that. I still need to get copies of High Anxiety and History of the World Part 1. But I love his work. I will say that the first one I ever saw in theaters was Men in Tights, and so that's kind of stuck with me as being kind of my go-to favorite. I love the movie. It's so funny, and as a kid I got most of the references. And because I was a big Robin Hood fan growing up, I burned through the VH copy of the Disney one that we had growing up. So yeah, what about you? What is your favorite Mel Brooks movie?
Oh, I would have to say it's one of those ones I don't know if it's my favorite one, but I think the best one was one that he actually didn't direct.
Oh,
and that is Young Frankenstein. He did not direct Young Frankenstein. No, he wrote it. Gene Wilder directed it.
Are you sure?
No, Gene Wilder wrote it. Gene Wilder wrote it. He wrote it. You're right. He directed Young Frankenstein. Gene Wilder wrote it.
I think you're right on that. I'm checking it out. Yeah, directed by Mel Brooks. The story and screenplay were written by Mel Brooks, Gene Wilder. They worked together on it.
Yeah. But we watched by the way, if you haven't seen the documentary on Gene Wilder, watch it. It is such a talent, and the world lost a great comedic talent when they lost not just a great comedic talent, but just a great on-screen talent when we lost Gene Wilder. He was just so amazing.
Of the cast of Young Frankenstein, the only one that's still alive is Mel Brooks. I mean, Gene Wilder passed away.
Yeah.
Larry Feldman passed away. Peter Boyle. Terry Garr was just this last year. Madeline Kahn.
Yeah.
Cloris Leachman was a couple of years ago. Gene Hackman was just this year. And then Kenneth Mars.
Yeah.
I mean, we are...
I mean, just those names right there, those are just such comedic... I mean, like I said, such great talents, hilarious. That movie is just... I think of all of the movies, there's a lot of slapstick and a lot of stuff like that. There's also a lot of stuff that's just very subtle with that movie.
Oh, yeah.
It's just... Abby, the Abby Normal, his name was Abby, Abby Normal.
Well, and then the whole thing with the name, it's Frankenstein. Not Frankenstein.
If you get to be Frankenstein, then I get to be Igor.
It was so funny, and Mel Brooks is he's so brilliant. And the funny thing is that you go into his history of the kind of person that he is, and he has got. I mean, there's something so cool about him. Like, he fought in World War II, and survived. And as far as I'm aware, see if I can pull some. I'm trying to, like, think if I remember correctly, I think he served as a sniper.
Oh, wow.
During World War II. I could be very wrong on that. I hope I'm not, because that just makes him even more awesome. But yeah, he is a yeah, okay, hold on. I found yes. Brooks served in the U.S. Army during World War II and participated in the Battle of the Bulge. Oh, I was wrong. He was a combat engineer.
Okay. Still, I mean, Battle of the Bulge.
We're talking about a guy who worked on the original Get Smart TV series. He worked on the Dick Van Dyke Show.
That makes sense. He was on Get Smart, because Get Smart has very similar.
Oh yeah, it was such a. Oh yeah, it was very much
like that. But one of my favorite gags when there was the one where I can't remember what it is, but Max goes to somebody and is like, "There's the entire U.S. Navy fleet is headed towards you," and he goes, "I don't believe it. Would you believe the Coast Guard? No. Would you believe two cops in a rowboat?
Isn't that the Coast Guard?" Yeah, I like, when I started hearing rumors a couple of years ago that they were getting ready to make a sequel to Spaceballs, I got really excited. Like, I never got a chance to watch the animated series. I heard it was pretty decent.
I didn't even know they had animated. I didn't even know they had an animated series.
It was very short-lived. Like, I could never, like, it wasn't on cable or anything like that. You couldn't find it, and like, I don't know how they went about distributing it. But I was really excited for it, and I just couldn't never get a chance to watch it. And then they started talking about whether or not they're going to make another movie, and just, and then things just started, going, and life continued on. And now here we are, and it's, 38 years later, and we've got this movie coming out, and I'm so dang excited.
Yeah. Now,
who else is missing?
Not to be but do you think they'll be able to do the same type of jokes that they were able to do in the 80s?
God, I hope so.
Like, because, or do you think that with the way politics are, the way, because I was listening to a podcast the other day, and that was one of the things they talked about with Spaceballs, is that watching it in today, some people might kind of be like, the jokes don't, for some people the jokes might not hit as well. Or do you think you have to be of a certain generation and have grown up with it? And
I'm going to quote a comedian by the name of Brad Stein. I don't know if you've ever heard of him. I got to see him perform live back in 2003 at a conference in San Jose. And he was talking about people who get offended easily by jokes, or people that are so worried about their kids that they need to have an antiseptic wipe for everything the kid does, whether it's picking its nose or riding a bicycle, whatever. Wear a helmet. If you're going to be that offended by a joke, wear a helmet, because chances are you're probably going to be hitting your head a lot. I mean, you can't go through life wearing a bubble wrap suit. It's just not gonna fly. People are gonna say things that are gonna tick you off. People are gonna say things that rub you the wrong way. You have the choice of how you want to respond to it. You want to be offended, be offended. But the fact that the reason why the joke is funny, the reason why it lands, is because there's truth in the humor. And I mean, like, one of my favorite comedians of all time is Chris Rock, which most people wouldn't think that of me because of some of the content that he puts out. Like, I tend to avoid a lot of stand-up comedians that get really vulgar and stuff like that. But I watched the newest show that he did for Netflix right after the whole Oscars slap with Will Smith. And like, one of the things I appreciate about good comedians who are willing to tell those jokes and to push those boundaries is that they tell it how it is. And that's the thing that Mel Brooks does is he pokes fun, but a lot of the things that he pokes fun at are things that he himself is involved in. You know, like,
Yeah.
I mean, like, keep in mind, like the original Spaceballs film, like they like one of the jokes about the biggest joke in there about Spaceballs 2, The Search for More Money, and the whole thing went back to the idea of merchandising. Like when he went and got permission from George Lucas to make a spoof on Star Wars, George Lucas's one rule was you cannot merchandise anything because of the similarities. He's like, at that point, I will take you to court. And that was fine. So they worked it in as a gag, as a visual gag. And that was fine. That worked because those were products that were not actually being made. However, since then, other companies who are not Mel Brooks have licensed it. Like my Lord Helmet Buddha. I mean, I got this as a Father's Day gift. Don't know who made it. Don't know where it came from. But gosh darn it, I love this thing because my son gave it to me. And it is right up my alley. This is what happens when Rick Moranis just lets himself go.
Yeah.
And I love it. And you know, it's merchandise, but it's not produced by Mel Brooks. And because people are interested in the content, people are interested in this movie. There's a huge fan base.
Yeah. Oh yeah. 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 I am.
And so I mean, let's just take a look at some of the stuff that they're talking about in this trailer right here. I mean, there we go. So since then, he talks about with regards to Star Wars. 38 years ago, there was only one Star Wars trilogy. Since then, we have had a prequel trilogy, a sequel trilogy, a sequel to the prequel, a prequel to the sequel, countless TV spin-offs, a movie spin-off of the TV spin-off, which is both a prequel and a sequel. And they're referring to Mandalorian and Grogu at that point. Not to mention 2 Dunes, 7 Jurassic Parks, 2 Avatars, plus 3 upcoming Avatars, making 5. Which I just saw the teaser trailer for Avatar 3, Fire and Ash, which looks visually great. I don't care about the story because there's no story. Then they talk about 36 MCU movies with 2 different Robert Downey Jr.'s, DCU attempt number 1 and 2, the various versions of The Lion King, 8 Harry Potter movies, the new TV series reboot of Harry Potter, a whole streaming service of Star Trek. Then they talk about the Aliens movies, the Predator movies, 1 Prometheus, 4 Beatles movies, and Oppenheimer. Like, that's a lot of stuff, and they're poking fun at every single one of those things. And I love it. I am here for it.
Yes. Yes. Oh, man. I am...
And the fact that at the end of the trailer, Mel Brooks is like, "Hey, we asked the fans what they wanted, and instead we're making this movie." Like, the fact that he's able to make jokes about himself and his work is the best part of that, because this is a guy who gets comedy more so than the idiots who are writing comedies out there for Hulu, Netflix, and any other streaming service in between.
Yeah, I agree. I agree. But yeah, so really
let me ask you this question. You asked me what my favorite Mel Brooks movie was. Let's get more specific. What's your favorite scene from this movie, from Spaceballs, from the original?
Oh. I don't know if I can do just one. I almost have to do a top 3. I love Combing the Desert.
Yeah, that's a good one.
That's a great visual joke, and the man we ain't found is great. The line when they first meet John Candy's character.
That's a good one.
Yeah, I'm a man, I'm a dog. I'm my own. I'm part man, part dog. I'm my own best friend. I don't know why that line gets me, but I'm just like, that could be taken so wrong.
Yeah.
Oh, I'd have to say though, my favorite scene from Space. Them meeting them. No, what's the matter, Captain Colonel Sanders? Chicken.
I think the whole sequence with going to ludicrous speed is just it's so brilliant. On top of that, the all the little references to other star sci-fi franchises, like you've got the references to Star Trek with Snotty and beaming up and all that.
Yeah.
And everything that goes haywire with that.
Snotty beamed me up yesterday. It was wonderful. I almost forgot the scene. Oh, go ahead.
I was gonna say I think like just the random like word levels or like the wordplay that you have in there is great. Like when they're threatening to do the plastic surgery on Princess Vespa, and the lights dim out for whatever reason, and they come back on, the doctor's making out with his nurse, and he's like, "Hey, why don't you go back to the golf course and work on your putts?" It's like this really subtle play on words, but he's calling him a jerk. He's calling him a putz because the guy's a jerk. He's a schlemiel. I love it. The Yiddish humor is great throughout.
Of course, there's the creeps, the beeps, and the bleeps. You know, the creeps. Another great one is when will then be now?
Oh, that is
soon.
That fourth wall break is so fun. It's such a fun sequence.
Yes, yeah.
Like the way that they filmed that,
back.
You got that
the guy who did the.
Yeah, you got the infinity screen going. It's so
infinity. Brilliant. Yeah. Now, have you seen that guy? The guy who does the voice, I can't remember. I don't know
Michael
what his
Winslow.
name is. He did a thing recently where he did the guitar part for Stairway to Heaven, using just his mouth, and it was like,
brilliant.
Yeah.
There's they had some really talented people in this cast.
So to answer your question, my favorite scene from Spaceballs is yes.
Yeah, one of I was watching it the other day actually in preparation for this, and there's a scene towards the end before right when they're showing up to remove all the air from Druidia, and you see the ship in orbit, and you hear the running and the panting off screen, and all of a sudden you see Mel Brooks running into frame onto the command bridge, and they're like, "Oh, good, you're here." He's like, "If I walk, the movie will be over. The ship is too big," which is great because it's a direct recall to the opening scene where the ship is way larger than it should be.
Yeah. Yeah.
Oh man.
Them trying to get off the into the escape pods.
Mm-hmm.
Who are you? I'm the bearded lady. What are you? One of the freaks?
Right.
The Mega Maid.
Yeah. One of the things I really appreciate about this is just the number of cameos that they have in the movie. Because, obviously you have a great cast with Rick Moranis and Daphne Zuniga and Bill Pullman and John Candy and Joan Rivers.
Yeah.
Like them as the core cast is fantastic. But then you've got like Tim Russ, as you mentioned before, Michael Winslow, but then you've got Dick Van Patten playing the King of Druidia, King Roland, and he makes a comeback in a couple of other Mel Brooks films, including playing the Abbot in Men in Tights. But you've also got John Hurt reprising his role from as Kane from Alien.
Yes.
Which was hilarious. Like that scene at the end freaked me the heck out because just before I ever saw Spaceballs, my dad and I sat down to watch. Well, he sat down to watch a VHS copy of Aliens. It had been recorded off of, I think, HBO or Cinemax or something, and it, with Karate Kid Part 2. My dad watched it. I sat there with him. I freaked out. I made the association Karate Kid Part 2, and I was afraid of that movie because of Aliens. But then I saw Spaceballs, and I'm loving this movie. And then all of a sudden, that scene at the diner happens, and I freaked out. And there was a point in my life for like 10 years where I did not watch Spaceballs because of that scene.
Really? Oh,
and I'm like,
wow.
That's how powerful the imagery was.
Yeah.
That's how good it was.
I love how I did love how they took that scene, but then turned it comedic by having the little xenomorph do the hello, mother, and hello,
right?
Do the little dance. Yeah.
But that's not even the best part. Like when they land on the planet where the apes are, and they're climbing out of the head of the Robomaid, the two apes that walk up, one of them is Michael York, who was in Planet of the Apes.
Oh my goodness.
Like, how cool is that they not only did they get John Hurt to reprise his role from Alien, they got Michael York to reprise his role from Planet of the Apes.
Oh, so
and it's like so many good performers who were in this movie. And what's cool is like I'm looking through the cast right now. In fact, let me share the tab with you. I mean, here's like Brenda Strong, she played Lena Luthor's mom in Supergirl on CW. She's been in a bunch of other stuff as well. Phil Hartman was one of the Dinks, or he did the voice of the Dinks. Stephen Tobolowsky, who played the captain of the guard. We've seen him in a bunch of stuff. Dom DeLuise was Pizza the Hut.
Yes.
Let's see here. Harry Shearer from The Simpsons. He was in it. I don't know what part he played. It would have to be pointed out to me, but he was in it. And then Tress MacNeille and Corey Burton, who are still long time. They've been working in voice acting for decades.
Yeah.
So, and Corey Burton has worked on Star Wars, in fact.
Yeah, I recognize the name Tress MacNeille.
Yeah. So, I mean, they had a really strong cast of supporting actors as well as primary cast. Like, this was just a fun movie.
Yeah. Yes.
So, I guess my next question would be: what are you hoping they would have to piggyback off the original one that you would like to see? I mean, it kind of plays with expectations.
Yeah, I'm not sure. I mean, like there's so much, like they said, that they can play off of. There's so many movies that have come before. Obviously, I think they're going to go lean into spoofing the newer movies. I think probably also the prequels too.
I kind of hope they spoof both Dune and Avatar.
That would be good.
Just to have those things dropped in there, in that crawl was great. But I think it would really be fun for them to do that.
Yeah, I do have higher hopes for this than what I have for the new what I've seen of the new Naked Gun, simply because it is Mel Brooks is writing it, so I know that he knows kind of. But just the few things I've seen of this is my own personal take. The trailers of the new Naked Gun it seems like with that one they tried too hard.
Yeah, some of it
like some of it is just like it's like.
I'll admit there are some scenes for that new trailer that I am embarrassed to say that I laughed at. But it looks so like part of it looks really funny because it's Liam Neeson. He's completely deadpan through this whole thing.
Yeah.
But like the other thing I like about it is that they are willing to. This isn't like a reboot. It's a continuation.
Yeah. I did like that scene where they're looking at the different pictures of like their parent. Like he's looking at the picture. Liam Neeson is looking at the picture of what's his name from the original?
Leslie Nielsen.
And then you get the picture of the guy looking at the picture of O.J. Simpson. He just goes,
"Nope,
no." Which I was. But then there's other scenes where I'm just like, are they trying too hard? Because the comedy in the original Police, almost said Police Academy, which is another great comedy. But the original, whatever. I can't remember what I was talking about.
Yeah.
What was I talking about?
We kind of got off track. We were talking about the sense of humor.
Yeah.
From Spaceballs.
Yeah. But there's just in all of those movies where Spaceballs, Robin Hood Men in Tights, all of those movies like that, there was an ease about the comedy. It seemed to flow naturally.
Yeah.
It was just very quick-witted, very, very, but it was just kind of, not just wordplay, but situation, everything, sight gags.
Yeah. And I think that's the thing is like when you've got decades of experience writing this kind of stuff, there's kind of a natural progression for it. And whereas there are a lot of comedies that have been coming out that feel like they try too hard. I think part of it comes down to writing. Part of it comes down to cast and their chemistry with one another. Like, the thing that made like the original Ghostbusters film so good was the fact that you had a cast who were, they were good actors. They worked off of each other very well.
Mm-hmm.
Either because they worked with each other at Second City or because of Saturday Night Live or because of some of the other things that they did in the past. And so they had that ability to work well with one another. Whereas you look at the 2016 reboot, the all-female cast, and they didn't have a real shooting script. Most of what Paul Feig did is he had the actors, he gave them an idea of what the scene was going to have, and he let them riff and ad-lib, and there's no chemistry, there's no fun, the jokes they don't land, and it doesn't have so it doesn't have the same appeal to it. But with Brooks, I think we're going to get a lot of the stuff that he has been known for, and I think it's going to be really solid. It's definitely going to be a big winner at the box office.
Oh yeah. So where would you rank Spaceballs as far as a Star Wars spoof? Would you say it's the best Star Wars spoof, or would you even consider it a Star Wars spoof? Or is it just a spoof of science fiction movies in general?
I feel it's like it leans more heavily on the Star Wars stuff, obviously, because of the design aesthetic.
Yeah.
But it is definitely a spoof on a lot of other science fiction because, like, the way that Dot Matrix looks is very similar to the robot from this is gonna kill me. I don't remember the series. There's a sci-fi series with $1 Million Man. God, this is gonna kill me. And what's gonna happen is we're gonna finish our recording, we're gonna finish our episode, and then it's gonna be like, oh, that's who it was. Yeah, that was the show. Anyway, but there's a lot of visual references. I mean, you've got Star Wars, you've got the Alien reference, you've got Star Trek references. I'm sure there's some Battlestar Galactica references at some point.
Yeah.
So,
I find it funny that one of the stars actually ended up being in Star Trek.
Right.
Tim Russ. Yeah.
Right.
Yeah. Yeah, that was just
I think as far as spoofs go, like, I mean, I've only seen a handful of spoofs on Star Wars. And that includes Spaceballs. That includes the 3 Family Guy spoofs, Blue Harvest, something Dark Side, and It's a Trap. And while I like those for what they are, like, the thing about I would definitely say that if I had a choice between watching Spaceballs 3 times in a row or watching the Family Guy spoofs, I would probably take the first one, because while I like the Family Guy stuff, a lot of the jokes that Seth MacFarlane does in those movies, they run on way too long. The point of a joke is to be quick. And if it's a recurring gag, that's one thing. But when you have Peter Griffin sitting there clutching his knee going, for 3 minutes straight, my question is, why does the movie have time for this?
Yeah. I'll be honest. I prefer, when it comes to spoofs like that, I prefer the Robot Chicken spoofs more than I do the Family Guy spoofs.
Because they're like 15 minutes long.
Yeah. The another good one, if you haven't seen it, is Troops.
I haven't seen that one.
It's a spoof of Cops, and
yes, I have.
Yeah, it's the whole it takes place on Tatooine right at the same time of A New Hope I just love the line of how does it go? All suspects are guilty. Of course they are. Why they wouldn't be suspects if they weren't guilty?
Exactly.
Yes.
Yeah, I'm so eager for this movie. There are a few movie franchises that I get really excited about. Anything involving Mel Brooks before he passes away, I'm excited for.
Yes, and hopefully we have him for a while longer.
If 2025 takes him from us too soon, I will officially hate this year.
It is, this has been a fun conversation. Speaking of fun conversations, I got to be on a podcast recently with one of the guests we had on here a few weeks ago, Amanda from Clashing Sabers.
Oh, cool! How'd that go?
It was a lot of fun. We discussed the newest Superman movie, and it was a lot of fun. I felt like she admitted that she was not she hadn't been much of a DC fan until recently, so I was able to kind of explain more of the lore to her, and we both really enjoyed it. I think I've said on here that I really enjoyed the movie. We talked about some of our both things we liked, things we wish they would have done differently with the movie. I made the joke of, we were talking about some of the online hate that the movie has been getting from a certain branch of the fandom, and I made the joke that I said I'm a Star Wars fan, which has a reputation of being one of the most toxic fan bases in all of cinema. The joke is no one hates Star Wars more than Star Wars fans,
right?
And I said, even as a Star Wars fan, I'm looking at some of these comments online and going, what are you? It's just I can understand being feeling trepidatious about a movie and kind of wondering, but when you're actively hoping that a movie flops so that another version that is never going to happen happens.
Yeah, my thought is I don't. On the one hand, I don't want to put people out of work because they're working hard. Like I'm an avid believer that even bad movies shouldn't be pirated, despite the flag I have sitting behind me. Rum should be pirated, but not movies. Anyway, that being said, I went into seeing James Gunn's Superman by James Gunn with a quasi open mind. Like I wasn't sure what to expect. I had heard some of the negativity around it. I had heard some of the positivity around it. I want to see it for myself. I've seen 3 Superman movies in the theater. As far as just standalone Superman movies, I'm not counting anything where he shows up with another group of heroes like Justice League or Superman versus Batman, because those 2 movies, as far as I'm concerned, were just trash. I've seen the Snyder cut of Justice League, and I wanted to fall asleep through most of it because it was like 30-40% of it was slow-mo. But for the first time ever since being able to see a Superman movie in the theaters, I saw one in 2006 with Superman Returns, 2013 with Man of Steel, and now 2025. This is the first time I've ever walked out of a Superman movie feeling hopeful.
Exactly. Yeah.
And I appreciated that feeling. I will say I did not care for the jokes undercutting serious moments. Like probably by far the best scene was the conversation between Lois and Clark in the apartment, and she's interviewing him as Superman, and going through that whole thing. Like that was some of the best 12 minutes of screen time I have seen in a movie in a very long time. It was powerful. It was raw. It was good.
Yeah.
The scene where Superman is at the end, where he's talking to Lex and explaining just how he's just as human as anybody else, regardless of what his abilities are. Yeah. That is a great speech. Like that is like I'm not seeing an actor, reciting dialogue. I'm seeing Superman on screen explaining why he does what he does and the purpose behind it, regardless of what people want to believe about him. And then it gets undercut by Crypto, throwing Lex Luthor around the room like a rag doll. And don't get me wrong, I cracked up. I laughed really hard at that because it was really funny. It caught me off guard. But
it
ruined the moment, because in that moment, like, one, there's no way that Lex Luthor is going to be able to do anything to physically harm Superman.
Yeah.
Like, he's not physically capable of doing that. Even if he had thrown a punch, he would have broken his own hand. But the thing I like, but as I got to thinking about it, like, had that actually happened, Crypto would have killed him. Like, his brains would have been bashed in, his body would have been broken 3 ways from Sunday.
Yeah.
And it's like, there's no getting up and walking that off. Like, having his arm in a sling and a couple of bruises on his bald head, there's no walking away from that. He took more of a beating than Loki at the hands of the Hulk.
I had a friend of mine. He had a problem with the scene where Superman loses his temper and throws the little tantrum in Lex's office after he loses Crypto, because he was saying that Superman would never do that. He would never lose his cool like that.
Well, there are plenty of times where Superman loses his cool.
Well, and that was my thing. I was thinking about this, and I said, to me, Lex was the perfect villain to bring into this, to introduce this new version of Superman, because while he's not have the imposing figure of like a Darkseid or a Zod, he doesn't have the overall strength and power of a Doomsday, or even a Bizarro, or the intelligence of a Brainiac. No one is as manipulative and as cunning, and no one's able to get under Superman's skin quite like Lex Luthor.
with maybe the exception of Batman because of just how well Batman knows him.
Yeah. Oh, have you heard the rumor?
No.
Henry Cavill might be your next Batman. James Gunn has said that he is wanting to. He said he wants to have Henry Cavill back in the DCU in some fashion, and the rumor is that he might be your next Cape Crusader.
I wouldn't be opposed to it.
The other name is the actor who is currently in the show Reacher.
Yeah, Alan Richson.
He's been campaigning himself because he's a big DC fan, a big Batman fan.
He's been wanting to play Batman since he played Aquaman on Smallville.
Yeah. So those are the two names being thrown around. Not to spoil anything, but I love the little reveal at the end with the next upcoming DC movie.
I don't know how I feel about the way they're portraying that particular character.
Yeah.
I mean, don't get me wrong. I think the actress is going to do a fine job. I haven't really seen her in anything else because I haven't watched any of the other projects that she's worked on.
Okay.
And I don't think we really need to worry about spoilers because it's been a couple of weeks since the movie's been out.
Yeah,
and everybody
it's Supergirl. Supergirl shows up at the
end. Played by the chick from House of the Dragon. And I can't Millie Alcock. Yeah, that's her name. I don't like the personification that she is a college age party girl.
Yeah, well, what I heard is the story they're going with is that unlike other, they're going off a storyline where unlike other versions of Supergirl, where she, was sent, earlier, but then got lost in, I can't remember. She saw the destruction of Krypton. She witnessed it, and somehow her dad was able to make like a little bubble city and was saved them, but then that was destroyed also, and then she's sent to Earth. So she saw the destruction of Krypton, she saw her planet, and so she's dealing with a lot of trauma.
I mean, that's fine. I mean, because she could have, she, even if they had sent her in a ship earlier, right before everything blew up, like she still would have been able to see it. And that still would have made more sense. I'm a big fan of keeping it simple. Like having a really convoluted origin story bogs down the storytelling and it bogs down the flow and pacing of a film. So keeping it simple would be great.
However, looks like go ahead.
I was gonna say, my thought would be sometimes with jokes, less is more. That's one of the things that the MCU has really suffered with is that you've got these characters who are quippy and they're cracking these jokes, and the word for it is Whedonization because it's based on the way that Joss Whedon writes dialogue. That makes sense for the way that he writes stories, but the fact that you've got the Whedonization happening throughout the rest of the MCU outside of those two films that Joss Whedon directed, it gets really obnoxious because it's not executed as well. And to see it being done so frequently and having those jokes popping up so frequently, just less is more. Less is more. Let's let her trauma, simmer and have her deal with it in a healthy way.
So
while discovering her responsibility.
According to Wikipedia, so take it for what it is, the premise of Supergirl is thus. Kara Zor-El celebrates her 21st birthday while traveling across the galaxy with her dog Crypto. Along the way, she meets the young Ruthie Marie Knoll and encounters a tragedy that leads her to going on a murderous quest for revenge. And it also has, of course, Jason Momoa as Lobo.
Which is pretty much him being typecast at this point.
Yeah. It's Millie Alcock as Kara Zor-El / Supergirl. Clark Kent will be in it. Matthias Schnackerhurst as Karim in the Yellow Heel. Yeah.
Supergirl movie 2026. Oh yeah. He's creme of the. I know who this guy is. He Matthias Schienertz is the he's in the two Old Guard movies. That's the only other thing I've seen him in.
Okay. Yeah.
Yeah, he's one of the immortals in that. And then
the only-
David Krumholtz is playing Zor-El.
Yeah.
What?
And Emily Beechman as
Allura.
and Z. Supergirl's
I like
mother.
Emily Beecham. She's a good actress.
What did you think of the changes they made to the story with Jarrell?
I mean, the way it could be played out is that like it could still be one of those things that was fabricated by Lex.
Yeah.
We don't know. I actually liked it because I mean the whole time he's doing a smear campaign. It starts off as the quippy little tweets and social media posts, which would have been better suited by like an algorithm instead of a bunch of stupid monkeys.
Yeah.
Because that would have been way more believable. But it goes from that to being like really legitimate or quasi-legitimate information taken straight from the source of where Superman hides. I think that is brilliant. Like even if it's now canon for the films, at least I like that because you can because there's always been that idea of, well, what happens if Superman was actually sent here to conquer us, which actually ties back to another film that James Gunn did, which was Brightburn.
Yeah. One of the questions she asked me, and I gave her some of my thoughts, was like some Superman. She used to read Superman comics. What are some Superman runs that she should read as far as comics? I told her, of course, I said, I didn't say whatever happened to the Man of Tomorrow, but I said, what do you get the Man Who Has Everything? I told her All-Star Superman, and then I told her Kingdom Come. I think those are some of the I wanted to say World's Finest is another good run. I wanted to say Death of Superman, but in hindsight, I don't know if Death of Superman was really that. I think it was iconic for what it did, but I don't know if it was that good of a story overall.
I think it was good because it does show that heroes are capable of falling, and that they aren't as immortal as we would want them to be.
Yeah.
That being said, there's so many good storylines that could come about. I would say let's rather than adaptation, let's try to do something new, something different.
Yeah. Well, she was more asking like, okay, if I'm going to read a Superman comic, what are ones that I should read? And I told her,
it's funny because like I was just talking with a buddy of mine last night, and he and his 9-year-old were talking about wanting to get into Superman, and because I think they went to go see the movie, and he wanted to get to know a little bit more of the lore. And so the book that I recommended was actually Superman Earth 1 that DC put out over a few years ago, because they keep things simple, they keep things grounded to a point, and I really enjoyed the way that they play with the lore in that book. So I would say start there, because then you can do something with it. But I mean, there's so many books out there. Just about anywhere you're going to get a good sense of Superman and his characterization and the way he plays out.
One thing I appreciate that Gunn is doing, and I hope he sticks to his, pardon the pun, guns, is someone asked him about when is the next Batman, when is Batman going to be filming, and he said not until we have a finished script, and that he is very adamant about not shooting a film until he has a completely finished script.
Yeah, and I respect that about him, because we've seen what I mean. Yeah, while having half a shooting script work for Iron Man with all the ad-libbing that was done on that film, it was fresh. It worked. But when you can't duplicate that kind of success.
No, yeah, I agree.
You have to have the right cast, the right chemistry, the right director, and having that trying to repeat that is it's an exercise.
Hold on, I got someone calling. I have someone calling from work. I have to take a call.
No.
Hello.
So I'm gonna let Mark handle that work call right there because that's pretty important for him. We've been talking a good deal. Did not expect to go on the direction of Superman, especially when we've been talking about Spaceballs and things that are adjacent to Star Wars. But this has been a pretty fun conversation, I've got to say. And so one of the things that we'd like to know is we'd like to hear from you guys. You can leave your comments down below in the towel section. Let us know, what do you like about Spaceballs? What's your favorite scenes? What are your favorite moments from that classic bit of comedy? What are some of the discussion points that we talked about tonight that resonated with you guys? We would love to hear from you. As always, if you do leave a comment and there's some disagreement, please be respectful, because while we don't get a lot of comments, we have had some posts in the past that just were not friendly, and we want to keep it friendly as much as we possibly can. I'm kind of out of ideas here. I'm just waiting for Mark to get off the phone. Here we go. Hey, you're back.
I'm back. Sorry about that. The work called and asked me to work tomorrow on my day off, which is always fun.
Hey, time and a half, right?
Yeah, overtime. Yeah. Yep. Anyway, so
nice. Well, next week, as mentioned earlier, we are going to be talking about lightsaber forms. We have a guest host who's going to be joining us, and that's going to be a lot of fun because we don't often get guest hosts, and so when we do, it's always going to shake things up. It's going to be fun. Right. So I'll probably save my question for next week, but what's your favorite lightsaber form?
Ooh, I'll have to think about that.
Yeah, me too. All right, so as we're wrapping up here, if you want to connect with us, you can do so. Sharing Brian's information right here. Brian Karasik normally is here. He is out of town and hiding from other Jedi, I guess. I don't know. He says that his phone dropped into some water, but he's probably keeping things on the DL, I guess. I don't know. But you can connect with him over on Facebook at the Sith Library and Archives. Just facebook.com/the.sith.library, where they do a curated collection of all things dark side and Sith related. You can also find him on Instagram at Corosis. That is his dark side name. As for me, you guys can connect with me on Instagram and X at GKJ_publishing, where I talk about my show The Right Way, which just wrapped up its 7th season on YouTube. And I also talk about my books, including my fantasy series, The Archives of Hissing Quran. There's 5 books in the series. I'm currently working on book 6. And of course, Midnight Playground, which is my collection of short stories, which just landed on audiobook on Monday. So go ahead, look for those links. Connect with me, and you'll be able to get yourself a copy.
Awesome. All right. As for us right here at War of the Stars, if you want to get a hold of us, you can email us warofthestars1@gmail.com, or check us out on all our social medias out there. Instagram, X, YouTube at War of the Stars 77. We are a proud member of Feast of Fandoms. Just go to Feast of Fandoms on YouTube. And you can find all the shows on there. And you might even see one of us pop up every now and then. So check that out. If you want to support the show, Ko-fi.com/War of the Stars or spreadshirt.com/shop/war-of-stars. Okay, that will do it for this week. Of course, join us next week as we bring a special guest in to talk lightsaber forms. Until next time, remember, this is not just my Star Wars. This is not just your Star Wars. This is our Star Wars. Until next time, may the Force be with you.